I'm Jonathan Weiner at Maryland China Company, and today we're going to talk about how we can decorate china with your artwork. So we decorate here with a process we call high-fired or kiln-fired decoration, and what's nice about that is it allows us to decorate just about any of the 2,000 items that we have in stock with your artwork or your decoration. So if you don't have one of these catalogs, call and let us know. We'd like to send one to you. It has page after page of cups and saucers, teapots, dinnerware, vases, you name it, and we make it in porcelain. It can be decorated. And what we do is we then print your artwork on special transfers that get fired in a kiln, and that makes it permanent. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But the first step is to select the kind of items that you'd like to have decorated. For example, you want to do dinnerware. You have the choice of a rim-shaped pattern, where traditionally you're decorating along the rim. We also have coupe plates. This is a more contemporary look right now, where you might do a big image that covers the whole center. But the possibilities really are endless. We have, different kind of scrolled or embossed dinnerware patterns as well. Again, over 2,000 different items to choose from. And depending on the pattern that you choose, as far as the blankware is concerned, you have different selections of matching serving accessories such as teapots or platters. There's different size plates available, down from say 5-inch up to 12-inch chargers. So if you're looking for dinnerware, you're going to want to visit the website marylandchina.com, look through the products, because any of those items can be decorated. So, okay, step one, you picked your item. Step two is to pick the artwork that's going on that item. So the next step is going to be send us JPEGs of your artwork so we can just see kind of what you're thinking, and know that down the line you're going to want to be sending high-res, say Photoshop files or vector art in Illustrator format. That'll allow us to size it appropriately to the item that you've chosen, and then we get to have the transfers made. So let's say we're decorating this plate, and we know that this is a 9.5-inch plate. We might know that the transfer has to be 9 3/4 inches, but we take all that into account, and we take your artwork and we create a decal layout. So what does a decal layout look like? So this was done for a different customer, a designer named Megan Fless out of Australia, and she's doing some coupe plates. I'll show you the finished product in a little while. But we print these images. You can see she had 4 main coupe plates, and then this other image that we can use on a platter or a canister or something larger like that, and then some back stamps to so that when you flip the piece over, you can see who it's designed by. It gives it a more finished look if you're going to end up selling in high-end retail stores, or just to make sure that your customer's aware of your brand, we'd also print the back stamps. But what we're doing here is taking the artwork and laying it out for these big printed sheets, because when we print decals, it's a screen printed process. We're going to gang up all the images together, and we're going to run as many as we can at once to create this inventory of decals or transfers that we're going to use as we go in production for you. So for instance, let's say we printed 300 of those, so we have enough transfers to make 300 plates. Your initial order might just be for 36 plates of each pattern at once or something like that. So we're just going to make the 36 plates. Your money really is tied up, as far as investing and starting this project, is going to be tied up in the inventory of decals. Because it's a screen printed process, you get a lot of cost benefits from running a large number of sheets at once. The cost to go from say 100 sheets to 200 sheets is maybe only 40% more. To go from 100 to 300 sheets, where you're getting 3 times the decals, only might cost you an extra 50%. So we're going to print with that screen printed process to create the transfers, and then the next step, once we have those in hand, is the actual application and firing. So what we do next is, I'm just going to use a different example. Say you were going to decorate these cups and saucers or mugs like this. We call this, I think, our bistro mug. And I'll put together my little makeshift decorating studio. This, for example, is a transfer made for a different customer. It's 2 colors. So we printed hundreds of these at once for them. I think their initial order was, say, for 100 pieces, but that way we had the extra inventory when they went to reorder, we've already got these on hand. It speeds up the process. So let's just put that in there. And in general, talking about timeline, you're looking at about 2 to 3 weeks once you've submitted the images and approved the pricing to move forward on the decal printing. Once we have the decals in hand, it takes another 2 to 3 weeks for the production. And again, that's for us to hand apply the transfers onto the pieces and then fire it in our kiln. And you might ask, well, what does that entail? Why are you firing in a kiln? You can't make this in an oven. What's the process? So let's think of each piece of porcelain as a clay body, which is then high fired to make it, in case of porcelain, vitreous or waterproof, and then coated in a glaze. And think of that as like a very thin glass layer on top of the clay. And that's what gives, porcelain its fine white look. If you're doing a stoneware item that has a color to it, that glaze is where you get the different color. But in each case, it has the silica material on top that's high fired, and that gives it that glassy finish. When we print the transfers and apply them, the print itself that then has that cover coat on top is an inorganic mineral, which when it's high fired, fuses to the silica coating, think of it on the clay body. And that's what makes it permanent. So when we high fire these pieces, that's what makes it microwave safe, dishwasher safe. The image isn't going to come off, you can eat off of it. There's different requirements there. Past Prop 65, we print with lead-free materials and cadmium-free materials. So it all just depends on the look you're going for, the intended use, but you let us know all those details from the get-go, and that's how we manage the printing and the production. So this transfer, which has been dipped in water now for a few seconds, let's see if it's ready. Needs a little bit more time. But what I'm going to end up doing is sliding that image on, squeegeeing it on with a paper towel, and then it's ready for a kiln. To show you the other images that Megan Hess was designing, for example, that yellow burns away when it's high fired, and we're left with her intended colors, which was a black and this halftone gray that goes around the edge. The fact that she had this border here dictated that we needed to print these large circles. If you didn't have a border and just say this image in the middle, then we could gang a lot more of your prints together and get you a lot more images on the sheet. But again, because it's a screen printed process, if we're printing a lot of sheets, that's when you get your transfer cost down. So that's just an example of what the finished product looks like. Okay, I think we're already here. So you can see this is moving a little bit. This cover coat holds the image together and allows me to place it onto the porcelain. And because it's flexible, you have the ability to decorate on complex curves, such as this mug curves down and around, whereas other decorating techniques like sublimation, which is a decorating method I'll describe in another video, it has different limitations where you can't decorate on these complex curves the same way. But then what I'm doing is squeegeeing out all the air bubbles and the wrinkles here, and that gets that image on real well, and then it's ready for the kiln. So I just wanted to show you how the water release works. In production, I'll spend a lot more time getting this piece ready to make sure there's no imperfections in how the image was on there or the alignment. So then this is put in a kiln, fired at somewhere between 1500 and 2000 degrees in order to get those minerals to fuse with that glaze coating, and then you have your finished product. So that's a brief overview of how the process works. Again, if you're interested in having us quote any project, just contact me. My name's Jonathan Weiner at Maryland China Company. Go to our website, marylandchina.com. It's got the contact information there as well. And you can look through any of the products there or request a catalog, and we're happy to help you with your project. It's just a matter of submitting artwork, and then we go from there. But I hope you found this video informative, and we'll have some more out soon. Thank you very much.